Hi everyone, this is the test correction video for our geometry test that we just took. So here we go. A circle has a diameter of 16 inches. Which formula represents how to find the area of the circle? So I'm going to go back and I'm going to underline important information. So we're told that a circle has a diameter of 16 inches. Which formula represents how to find the area of a circle? So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to write down the formula for area of the circle. Area equals pi r squared. So if we notice, all of our answer choices, or all of my answer choices, they don't have pi as 3.14, they just have it as pi. So the only thing remaining from our area formula that we need to find is the radius. If we go back into our problem, we see that we're given a diameter of 16, but we don't want the diameter, we want the radius. I know that the radius is half of the diameter, so if the diameter is 16, then if the diameter is 16, then my radius is 8. So if we look at our answer choices, that would be B. Number 2, a hula hoop measures 14 inches from the center to the outside. So if I were to draw my circle from the center to the outside of the hula hoop, so that's 14, we see that this from the center to the outside means it's a radius, so a radius of 14. What is the distance around the hula hoop? That word around means circumference. So I'm going to use the circumference formula. So step number 1, circumference equals pi times diameter. Step number 2 is to plug in my values. So 3.14. If the radius is 14 and I need the diameter, I'm going to just multiply it by 2. So 14 times 2 is 28. And step number 3 is to solve. So I'm going to come over here, 3.14 times 28. 8 times 4 is, actually go ahead and pause. For the sake of time, I am going to do this on my calculator, but go ahead and pause the video so that you can work this out on your own. And then once you finish, unpause and we'll see if we have the same answer. So after you multiplied this, you should have gotten 87.92, which the answer choice is D. As always, if you need more time to work these out, you can always pause and then have some more time. Number 3, find the area of the circle below. Find the area of the circle below. So step number 1, area formula, area equals pi r squared. Step number 2, plug in my values. So area equals 3.14. I see that from the center to the outside is the radius, so the radius is 3. 3 squared equals 9. So I'm going to multiply 3.14 times 9. Go ahead and pause the video so that you can work this out. You should have gotten 28.26 as your answer. Moving on to number 5. Mr. Hawkins is covering a wall with wallpaper. The rectangular wall measures 14 feet by 12 feet. Each square foot of wallpaper costs $2.90. Find the cost of covering the wallpaper. So I'm going to draw my rectangle. It's 14 by 12. So, excuse me, I need to find the area of this rectangle. So step number 1, write my formula. Area equals base times height. Number 2, plug in my values. You could do 12 first, then 14. And then 3, I'm going to solve. So 14 times 12, go ahead and pause so that you can work this out. Once you unpause, you should have gotten 168. Now that is not, that's not our final answer because each square foot of wallpaper costs $2.90. So now I have to do 290 times 168. So go ahead and pause and solve that. And once you unpause, I will have your answer ready for you. Okay, after you unpause, you should have gotten 487.20. So the cost of covering this wall in wallpaper is $487.20. Moving on to number 7. A retail shop is replacing their flooring with new tile. New tile will go in the shaded area below. Determine the total square feet of tile needed to complete the job. All right, so it looks like I have 2 shapes here. Okay, one shape is going to be this rectangle. The second shape is going to be the triangle. So I need to find 2 different areas here. So I'm going to have R for rectangle. So I'm going to write my formula. Area equals base times height. I'm going to plug in my values. So 20 times 10. And 20 times 10 is 200. My next shape is my triangle. I'm going to name that with a T. First step is I'm going to write my formula. Area equals 1/2 base times height. Whoops. I'm going to scoot it over real quick so I have more room. So the base is 18 and the height is 7. So go ahead and solve. Go ahead and pause the video and solve. Okay, after you solve that, it's 18 times 7, which is 126. 126 divided by 2 is 63. So if I'm just trying to find the shaded portion, that means that I have the rectangle and they cut out the triangle from the rectangle. So I'm going to take 200 and I'm going to subtract 63. So I'm going to borrow. 10 minus 3 is 7, 9 minus 6 is 3, 1 minus nothing is 1. So the total square feet needed to complete the job is 137 feet squared. Well, goodness. All right, moving on to number 10 on the back. The circumference, oh that's great, it has the word in the problem for me. The circumference of a tire is 96 inches. Determine the radius of the tire. So we're trying to find the radius, but use 3 for pi. Okay, so I'm going to write my formula. Circumference equals pi times diameter. It gives me the circumference to be 96 inches. They want us to use 3 for pi, and then I don't know the diameter. Okay, so to find the diameter, I'm going to divide by 3. Three can go into 9 3 times. Bring down my 6. 3 can go into 6 2 times. Okay, so the diameter equals 32, but my question is asking for the radius. So I have to do 32 divided by 2, and that's going to give me 16. So my radius is 16 inches. Number 11, Randy is painting part of a rectangular wall, excluding the 2 corners shown in white. A gallon of paint will cover 75 square feet. How many gallons of paint will Randy need to purchase? So I have 2 shapes here. I have a rectangle And I have two triangles. So I need to find the area of my rectangle. So I'm going to label it with an R. So that would be area equals base times height. Area equals 20 times 9.25. And when I solve that, you get 185. For the triangle, area equals 1/2 base times height. The base of my triangle is 6. And the height is also 6, because remember, if you have a triangle and you have two lines like this, that means that this is 6 and this is also 6. So 6 times 6 is 36, divided by 2 equals 18. But I have two triangles, so I need to multiply by 2, so we're just going to get 36. All right, so to determine the amount of the shaded portion, so right here, right, that's what I'm trying to find, I have to take the rectangle and subtract the two triangles. So that means I need to borrow. So 15 minus 6 is 9. 7 minus 3 is 4, and then 1 minus nothing is 1. Now, my fourth step here is to reread my question. So it says, a gallon of paint will cover 75 square feet. How many gallons of paint will Randy need to purchase? So I have to take 149 and divide it by 75. Okay? 75 can go into 149 one time. When I subtract, I get 4 and 7. I add a decimal and a 0. 75 can go into 749 times. And you should, the question informative is asking you to round to the nearest whole number. So 9 makes the 1 turn into a 2. So 2 gallons. Number 12, which of the following equations can be used to find the missing angle x in the triangle below? Okay, so I have 42 and 42, so that's x plus 42 plus 42, and I know that all the angles in a triangle add up to be 180. I have to combine like terms, so 42 plus 42 is 84. So x plus 84 equals 180. If we check our answer choices, A is the only one that matches that. We're going to move on down to number 14. How many square meters are enclosed in the track? How many square meters are enclosed in the track? So I have two shapes here. I have a rectangle and I have two semicircles. But I know that two semicircles put together is just one circle. So I have my rectangle. So area equals base times height. Going to plug in my values. So 60 times 40. 6 times 4 is 24. I add my two zeros at the end. So the area of my rectangle is 2,400. Now my circle, I have area equals pi r squared. Plug in my values. I see that the diameter of my circle is 40. So the radius, I'm going to divide that by 2 to get 20. Go ahead and pause and work this out. And then when you're ready, unpause. All right, 20 times 20 is 400. 400 times pi is 1,256. So if I want to find the total, right, of this entire shape, I'm going to do 2,400 plus 1,256. So you should get 3,656 meters squared. All right, and then finally our last question is, let me zoom out, sorry about that. The company's logo was designed using 3 circles of different sizes. The diameters of the 2 circles are shown. So we have a big circle and then 2 smaller circles. Which measurement is closest to the area of the largest circle? So I'm trying to find the area. So area equals pi r squared. Area equals 3.14. Now I need to find the radius. We're talking about the largest circle here. So if I were to take my largest circle and draw the line, okay, that's the diameter. And if we see from the 2 smaller circles that it's 12 plus 6 to get the diameter of the large circle. So the diameter of the large circle is 12 plus 6, which is 18. So if the diameter is 18, I'm going to divide that by 2 to get the radius. So my radius is 9. So to solve this, 9 times 9 is 81. 3.14 times 81 is going to get me my answer. Go ahead and pause. And once you're ready and you have an answer, go ahead and unpause. All right, after you unpause, you should get 254.34, and that matches with D.